this one too. All right. Hey, folks, let's go ahead and begin the day a little bit simply by just reviewing some of the assignments that you guys have due here in the next couple. Want to make sure that you guys have the ability to see how to do these things. If you have any questions regarding your current situation in your assignment, the way that you are, the way that you're seeing it, how it's being displayed, anything that you can fix on it. If you have any questions and you need some comments, like some commentary, just quick commentary, that's an easy fix also. All it takes is just a few questions. All you have to do is make sure that you put those questions in an email or send it to me in Google Hangout. Send it to me right here. You're more than welcome. Give me a second. All right, there we go. There's some light. I had to turn some light up there. All right, so real fast, just want to go over a few of these things. Let's start with reviewing you guys' assignments for this week. Starting off by just checking out a classroom. We're going to start with the audio video third period here at the top. If you haven't yet got this turned in yet, go ahead and look at this real fast. Here's the instructions here. First one that you're doing is, of course, you are attaching a radio promo. You're creating a script for a radio promo. If you're not sure what a radio promo is, I give you a video down here by Mr. Mike Russell, who can explain to you a little bit more of what that video looks like. And what's really great about Mike's videos is that he gives you a lot of different angles for things. Here in this specific one, he actually is not only doing a promo, he's doing a promo for his radio station. So it's a promo that's giving you the ability to see the I think he's doing a breakfast, like wake up in the morning breakfast style commercial. You get to hear it. He uses a Kesha song to kind of make all these things happen. It's a really cool video. Make sure you guys watch this because it's going to help you create your own video or your own promo via Google Doc. But yeah, this is going to be something you really want to check into. It's going to help you with submission one. Submission one looks like this, AVP one. I've given you example of a commercial up here, an example of a script. That way that you guys can do this really well. If you'll scroll down, you'll see yours down here in the bottom, and you get to create one. Mine, I used one that you guys already know. You need to create one that is original, okay? Let me see, your and original promotional commercial script, okay? Make sure it's original. Make sure that you don't go in here and make one that already exists. I used one that already exists. That way you guys could see and understand how this works. So I used the Rusty Wallace Honda commercials so you could kind of see how it works. So go through that. Take a second to figure that assignment out. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I do see a notification down here in Google Hangouts. Give me 2 seconds, folks, and I will be on that. I want to make sure that I get through these real quick to explain to everyone how this works, and then I'll get to those questions. Graphic design, fifth period. Let's look at that next. You guys are doing marketing and design. See, a lot of you have already turned this in. Good job, folks. Much appreciated. You guys have two different submissions here. One, of course, being your confidentiality agreement that you're creating, and then the second being a 10-step marketing process that you are utilizing. Now, I am seeing a lot of people do this for their 10-step marketing process, where they say hello. Welcome, client. I'm dead serious. These are 2 or 3 of the processes that I've seen you guys turn in. That is not going to work for this assignment. You need to outline them like our gentleman in the video did. That way that you have a way to actually show the kind of the process that you're using to better acquit your client with information, okay? So if you're wondering how to do that, that's over here in New Client Onboarding. All you have to do is watch this video, okay? Our gentleman here gives us a really great way of seeing how to do that. As you go through this video, you'll see that he gives you a few different options, a few different steps to doing that. That is sending emails, that is social media, breaking into websites, breaking into web gear, breaking into streaming and other things, being able to do stuff like, and if you do want to, I would click on his other link that he has down below this video. You can actually go and look at that, and it's Facebook ad training. He'll show you how to do Facebook ad training. If you want to add that to your top 10 or your 10-step list, go do that, folks. It's super easy to add. So that's actually the second submission, but the first submission here is a confidentiality agreement. All I ask is that you watch this video right here talking about client confidentiality, and then of course see the example here. I don't know why it's not pulling up. See the example here that I've given you. All it is just an actual disclosure, confidentiality disagreement, or agreement. It's a disclosure agreement, sorry. And it gives you some language, gives you a little bit of vocab that you can utilize to put in your own confidentiality agreement. So I have seen a few people do this really well. Make sure that you do this. This is 3 paragraphs, folks. Make sure that you don't do less than. If you do less than, you are going to you're going to suffer the consequences via your grades. So make sure that you do that well. So that's 5th period and 8th period. Audio, video 2. You guys already know what you should be doing. That is your small business production practice. Let's talk about that real fast because I want to make sure everybody knows how to do it. I've given you guys a day-by-day instruction for that, so make sure that you go and do that. We are actually creating a website for our small businesses. You guys are creating your own small production company businesses, and those small production company businesses are, my apologies, are what we're going to be using when we come back from this coronavirus thing to actually get out into the community and start doing business with the community. All right. So when we do that, it's going to take a lot of manpower, but it's also going to take a lot of your own marketing schemes, your own marketing power. And we need to see that you know how to do that by creating this website. So you guys, most of you already know how to do that. Many of you have taken my PIT class. Those of you that haven't, you took PAV Tech, and we did G sites a long time ago. It's probably 2 years ago, but you guys know how to create these. They're CMS platforms, super easy to use. If you don't know how to use them, I am going to give a little explanation later today on that after I answer a few questions. So stick with me, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to printing and imaging technology. Printing and imaging technology. You guys have your, that's right. You guys have your Jostin stuff. If you haven't yet gotten onto your Jostin stuff, to finish off the yearbook, we are finishing off the yearbook today and tomorrow. Today at 12 o'clock. Today at 12 o'clock. Today at 12 o'clock. You guys are going to be going, you guys are going to be with me in a meeting in Google Hangouts. I'm going to add you to it, and we are all going to talk about the yearbook together, and we are going to finish it today and tomorrow. It has to be finished. It has to be printable by Thursday or by Friday. Okay? We need to have all of those things done, printed. All right? All right. That is all I have for assignments. The things that we need to go over next, of course, are going to be in the realm of journal submissions. Okay, oopsies, didn't want to do that. I don't know why that happens every time, even though I pull it out. There we go. Want you guys to see how to do journals correctly. I had a few people that put your journals in class comments. Don't do that. I had a few people that put your journals in the docs and in private comments, like you can, but you only put one word. You put yes, or you put no, or you put maybe, or you put I'm not sure, or you put I don't care, or I don't know. I don't care that you don't care, but you do have to give me something for a grade. So if you are going to do that, and you are going to not care about your education, then I'm not going to care about your education. So far as you've shown me that you have no need for it. So I will ploy you like a good teacher should, like an educator should. And I do care about your ability to be educated and your grade in this class. But if you are going to show no prowess, if you are going to show no care and no responsibility, I'm going to reward you with that non-responsive type, that non-responsive, the way that you have decided to answer the call of journals and attendance journals. If you do decide to do that, we are, of course, going to give you a grade that you're not going to like. So what work you give is the grade you will get back. I'm going to be very upfront and honest about that. Just because we're online, guys, here's the crazy thing about our class. We've been online before COVID-19 ever even started. All the stuff we're doing, we've been doing this since day one. None of this is new to you folks. So I shouldn't see a difference in your ability to be in this class and do this class well. Okay, you guys should know how to do this. You've been doing online course work for the last, what is it, 27 weeks? 27 weeks you've been doing online coursework. This is not new to you. Okay, so I don't want to see, oh, well, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do this, because we've never done it before, folks. We've done this a lot. Now, if we have something like the websites where we're like, man, I don't know how to do this, that's okay, because we've never done that before. But if it's stuff that we already know how to do, I would assume that you guys can come up, with the, you have the ability to do it. And I would assume that you could come up with the quality amount of work that's being asked of you, okay? So when you come into doing journals, okay, journal submissions are a huge deal, okay? Because they are for attendance purposes, and I am taking them as a grade. So you'll see that the scoring system is out of 3, and it's not out of 3 points. It's out of 3 sections, because almost all of those have 3 sentences. You have to create those 3 sentences for your journals. That's why it says it at the top. That's why it says it after the question. That's why it is prompting you the entire time to do that correctly. So make sure you're answering those with 3 sentences each. If you don't answer them with 3 sentences, you will most likely get those points off. Now, here's why that makes sense. Here's why that's a big deal. Because if you do not give me those 3 sentences, and I take a grade on the week's journals, and you only have 1 point for each journal, let's assume it's only 1 point, or 1 sentence for each journal, okay? That's 5 segmented points. That's 5 portions out of 15, okay? And if I took a grade of 15, okay, hey Google, divide 100 by 15.
The answer is approximately 6.666667.
Hey Google, multiply 6.6 times 5.
The answer is 33.
30. So you're getting a 33 as a formative grade. Not smart, folks. Not smart at all. Make sure that you get those in. Those are a big deal. Those are a big grade. All right? Make sure that you get those in, and you do those in 3 sentences each. Do not just give me a yes or no answer. None of those questions are in the form of yes or no questions. They always say, for example, the one yesterday was, what do you think we should change about Photoshop? In your opinion, what do you think we should change about Photoshop? You can't answer yes to that. What is the most important knob on the analog soundboard? You can't answer yes or no to that. What changes do you think any changes should be made to Photoshop, and why? Or do you think any changes should be made to Adobe software programs, and why? The why portion is where you get your 3 sentences. Make sure that you are not halfway doing this. All right? So that's all I have to say about journals. Percussion assignments. All right, let's go talk about this percussion, because I know a lot of you guys are wondering how we are doing this. So, percussion assignments, and I'm going to say that one more time because I'm starting this over so I can record this for the percussionists. Percussionists that are in my class for band. You guys have an assignment up. Make sure that you've checked it out. Let's go ahead and look at it real fast. Let me go into our classroom real fast. All right, so let's look at this real quick. Back behind me is, of course, our classroom. This is going to be the things that you must complete each day. I've given you guys some fun questions to work off of. I haven't been cycling them off. My apologies, guys. Let me go ahead and cycle these off for you. Cycling these off. Phantom Regiment, if you didn't get that one. Ooh, Fantastique. I wonder if everybody got that one. That's a really good one. Let's do past questions. All right, so percussion, you're answering these every day. Looks like we got almost everybody turn them in. Yes, Matrix. Good for you guys. Much appreciated. Very nice. Well done. All right, so all you guys have to do is answer these questions. Once you've answered those questions, of course, go up to your assignment. Your assignment for this week for band is rudiments, hand coordination. Okay, so let's look at these real fast. Let's look at this real fast. All you're doing is you are taking this sheet, okay, and you are playing whatever lines are required of you. Some of you I have given specific lines. Others of you I've given the entire thing to. Check your private comments for those of you that are not sure. If you do not have a private comment from me, you are supposed to be doing the whole thing. Good for you. Make sure that you have this playable by the end of the week. If you don't, you need to have it playable by the end of next week because this is part of our warm-up block for next year. Okay, make sure that you get this done. This is really easy, really equitable, super easy for us to do. We may even start with the 3 minutes, the 3-minute warm-up with 8. So snares, tenors, you need to know how to do this. This is also going to be a bass drum warm-up where we work on the chuck pattern, where everybody is playing this. Chuck, 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 chuck. Even the double beat. If you'll check 18, 18's the weird one. Okay, this one is a little bit different. It has the at the end of it, it has the Make sure that you're keeping count as you run through those percussionists. You must do every one of these video assignments with a metronome. Do not do it without a metronome. I've already gotten on to some people for not doing it with a metronome. You must do it with a metronome because that is going to help you stay on target. Tempo's at the top. Make sure you do it well. 120. Make sure you do it well. If you can't do it at 120, you can knock it down a little bit. That's okay. But I would rather you take it. If you don't take it at 120, let me know. That way I know that I need to come back and revisit it with you, and we need to have a one-on-one session. Percussionists, I am open for one-on-one sessions with drums, okay? What I'm going to be doing in those one-on-one sessions, we'll have some Zoom conferences. We'll have some Google Hangout conferences together, folks. Want to make sure that you guys have the ability to converse with each other as percussionists, but also that you have the ability. I have some announcements and stuff I need to give to you guys also, so we'll be setting one of those up here soon. You'll see it in a remind come out in a minute. It'll actually probably be tomorrow. We'll get together in Google Hangouts, and we'll make sure that we're all having a kind of we've come together and we understand what's going to be happening over the next couple. All right, so. See your remind for that information, but make sure that you're getting together with me. If you're interested in getting together with me for like a small lesson for like 30 minutes or an hour long, I am going to have the ability for you guys to do that. That's going to be during, that is going to be during, the evening portion of our time. And it's most likely going to be on a Monday and a Thursday. Okay. And it's most likely going to be like around 4 o'clock. All right. So, and it's going to be pretty close to like indoor times. But if you guys are interested, around 4, 5, 6 o'clock on Monday and or Thursday, I'm going to start doing a little bit of a lessons thing. So if you are interested in that and you need some help on this, I am going to be coming to you. I know there's a few people out there. That we were talking yesterday about keeping these and doing this really cool warm-up. There's another really cool warm-up that I actually sent Parker yesterday that I want a lot of people to get into, working on stick control, hand control, and your ability to kind of nominalize your ability to for touch and tap. Okay, so we're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth. So don't worry about it. That'll be part of that meeting tomorrow. Not a big deal, but I will send that out here soon, so you don't have to worry about it. Percussionists, finish the snare rudiment warm-up. Make sure that you have it. Turn it in. Looks like we already got a few. Very nice. John Parker, very nice. All right. Let's continue on. The next thing I need to talk to you guys about is, of course, new classes. We talked about this yesterday. Before I get there, I would like to answer some of those Google comments. Let's see. Great question. Okay. Great question. Making sure This is a new class question. So folks were asking, what if you were in graphic design this year and you are not sure how everything is going to work next year? I'll show you the display for next year. This is what we were working on yesterday. So here's the display for next year. If you guys don't yet know our classes entail, these are the levels. Now, somebody asked in the Google chat, thank you for this, anonymous, that what if you were in graphic design? Because they saw yesterday that graphic design is not part of this list, and that's okay because we're going to talk about it a little bit here. Why would we? Sorry, make sure my volume's down a little bit more. Why is this an important deal? Why is this an important thing? Well, because um, graphic design does not fit in the mold. What we are doing is we're taking graphic design and we are fitting that, all those tips, those tricks, those things, graphic design wise, we are putting those in audio video production 1. You will learn Photoshop and all that other stuff in audio video 1. So don't fret. We are still doing that portion of your education. So you will still get ACA Photoshop certified. You will still get Premiere certified. We are working out the little kinks there. Sorry. I had a really big breakfast for the first time in like forever, so my body is hating me right now. But you'll see here in this kind of let me see if I can move it up. I don't know if it's not allowing me to move it up, get it out of my face here. Very nice. All right, but you'll see the graphic design is not part of that system. What I want you to do, I'm going to stop the recording. I forgot to do that. What I want you to do is assume that as a graphic design person, you are in one of 2 categories. One category, you completed Principles of AV Tech and you are in graphic design. If you completed PAV Tech and you completed graphic design, we are putting you in AVP2. And we are using that as a supplemental because you do know some of the basic stuff that you need to learn in AVP1, but you don't know all of the stuff that you would have learned in AVP1. So we're taking AVP2's curriculum and we're expanding it to include AVP1. That way that everybody can catch up. All right. Now, if you were in graphic design this year, but you have never taken one of my other classes before, if you've never taken Principles of AV Tech, if you've never taken AVP1, then you are going to be placed in AVP1 and your graphic design class is going to be used as a pseudonym for Principles of AV Tech. Okay, so you will still get to learn all the stuff you need to learn in AVP1 because you took graphic design, but you will have to learn some of the stuff from Principles of AV Tech. So we're expanding the curriculum for AVP1 to include some stuff from Principles of AV Tech that you need to learn. All right, so that's part of how that works. Those of you that are in graphic design and you're wondering if you're going to be placed in one of those tiers, what tier are you going to be placed in? Okay. Another great question, and this is also about new classes, so this is perfect. So I'm going to answer these now because we were actually moving on to new classes. They are asking what the curriculum for Principles of AV Tech includes because they were not in one of my classes previous. This is actually one of my other students that was not in one of these classes. If you were not in one of those classes, you do have to take Principles of AV Tech to make sure that happens. If you fail one of my classes, if you fail my AVP class or you fail my graphic design class and you want to continue in your pathway for next year, we are placing you in Principles of AV Tech as well. So make sure that you know that. A failure in this class will get you booted back to AVP Tech. That way that you can learn all of that stuff before you come see me next year. All right? All right, let's go ahead and talk about the next question. Hold on, let me make sure I got this right. All right, next question is kind of like AVP1 thing. Yes, and this only is kind of okay. What if you took AVP1 but you did not take Principles of AV Tech? Well, you learned a lot of the things in AVP1 that you would have learned in Principles of AV Tech since we didn't have the PAVT class this year. I expanded that entire curriculum to include those areas. so that you guys could learn that stuff before you got on to the next class. So if you are an AVP 1 and you've not taken any other classes other than AVP 1, we are still graduating you to audio video production 2. Does that make sense? Okay, I hope that makes sense. If not, please ask the question again. My Google thing is keep giving me these private comments. These are great, folks. If you don't yet know how to do that, just go up to the top left-hand corner, click New Conversation, and then put my email in there, and it'll send me a private comment. That way that we can talk individually. Good question. Good question. This is also about new classes. This is a great question. Talking about the practicum, what if we only took Principles of AV Tech and Audio Video 2, and we're heading into practicum next year? If you are a senior, we are putting you in the practicum class no matter what. If you have taken those 2 courses, if you have taken Principles of AV Tech and Audio Video 2, we are kind of streamlining you into the practicum class because this is your last chance to get it before you graduate. Because we also want to make sure that after you're certified and after you have the ability to do this whole thing, this whole graphic design certification, Premiere certification thing, we want to make sure that you guys have the ability to get some real world experience under your belt before we go in and do all this. Okay, so for example, you wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to send you out into the world without having the ability to do a few very obvious tasks, or be able to, better yet, be able to work with folks in a specific work environment. So that is what the practicum is going to be based on. That is what the practicum is going to be working off of, is your ability and getting you into the workforce, specifically this environment, this workforce. Okay, so that's kind of what this is. I want to make sure everybody knows that and can see that. So if you are Audio Video 2, you took PAVT, you're going into practicum. Okay, period. All right. Just making sure that you guys can see that. If you have any questions or you need help on that, and you're like, man, this doesn't make sense, I can answer you where you're going. I have a list of everybody's names that are going to be in my classes next year. I'll probably be sending out a few reminds and other things. If you are not on my list, and I know that you should be on my list, I will probably be putting an email together, talking to your parents, probably making some phone calls here in the next couple as well for that. All right. I'm going to leave the next 30 minutes open for those questions, for those concerns. I am going to be helping some other students during this time. So if you start hearing my mic queue up or something like that, I might be in the middle of a Google call that is helping a specific student do something. But we'll make it to where you guys can see kind of what they're up to, if they allow it to be on the stream. If they don't, and they don't want it to be viewed or streamed, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that privatized. That way that they can get the help that they need. All right. Hope that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this out. If you have any questions, please put them in live chat. Please put them in Google chat. Email me. Whatever it is that you can do to get a message to me, private comments. I've been answering them like crazy, folks. So just get them to me. We will get you help. We will make sure that you have. I want to make sure everybody is getting 100 on these assignments. Almost all these assignments are the easiest things since sliced bread, folks. Most of these assignments are things you can do within the first 2 days, and you can have the rest of the day off. I wanted to start us off slow before I give us something a little bit more in detail, something a little bit more difficult. All right. So go ahead and finish these off. We're gonna get started on the next couple things here in a minute. If you have any questions, I'll try to stream them if I can. But I'll be off today between 12 and 1. I'll be doing a meeting with our yearbook folks. All right. Be safe, and I'll be here if you have any questions.